Before the breaking of dawn, there is a period of twilight. In that twilight, some are waking and some are just settling into bed. That space between dream and reality is where this story takes place. There, in the blue hour. Once upon a time, there was a little green toad who didn't feel comfortable in its own skin. This toad thought it was the most disgusting creature anyone had ever seen or that had ever lived. Now, this toad was very special. It could jump, something an elephant couldn't do. It could swim, something a rock couldn't do. And it could devour flies with its powerful mouth muscles, something most humans wouldn't do. In spite of all of this, the toad still believed it was hideous. All in all, the rest of the toad race looked more or less the same. They all had bumpy backs, greenish-brownish skin, and dead, soulless eyes that were more alive than any of us will ever know. And yet, even still, among an entire race of ugly creatures, this little toad thought it was the ugliest of all. It wouldn't let itself believe that something that looked, smelled, sounded, and felt as it did could ever be considered beautiful. It got very sad. Throughout the animal kingdom, a number of actions remain the same. One of these actions is that when something gets sad enough, it will lose the will to live. Certain species will even try to end their lives themselves. The toad is one of them. So, one day the toad hopped up to the highest branch of the tallest tree it could find and prepared to jump off to the ground below. Right before it jumped, it heard a voice from behind say, "Wait!" The toad turned around. It was another brown toad. "Why do you want me to wait?" said the green toad. "Because," responded the brown toad, "I was going to jump off that one." "Why were you going to jump off?" inquired the green toad. "I suppose you can tell," replied the brown toad. The green toad looked at it. It didn't appear to be any different from any other toad. Maybe it was a bit bigger, or a bit browner, or a bit more squarely shaped than other toads, but then who could tell the difference? "I can't," said the green toad. "Well," said the brown toad, "if I must tell you, it is because I am the most hideous creature in existence." "No, no, no," said the green toad. "I am the most hideous creature in existence." The brown toad looked at it. It didn't appear to be any different from any other toad. Maybe it was a bit smaller, or a bit greener, or a bit more round than other toads, but then who could tell the difference? "I don't see it," said the brown toad. "Well, you don't look ugly to me, and I don't look ugly to you, so one of us must be lying," said the green toad. "It's not me," said the brown toad. "Well, it's not me either," said the green toad. The two toads argued for a good long while. Eventually, their voices got tired, and they agreed they should take a break. So, together, they hopped down the tree and went to the pond for a drink and maybe something to eat. When they got there, they shared some information about themselves. They discovered they both enjoy hockey, think that religion should not get in the way of politics, and had never seen the last season of Gilmore Girls. As the sun set, the toads said their goodbyes and went back to their respective homes. The green toad thought about its day, and about the brown toad. It did not think the brown toad was hideous at all. It might even go so far as to say that the brown toad was beautiful. It even felt better about itself. They had really hit it off, it thought. And they did. Every day after they woke up, the little brown toad and the little green toad would hop up to the highest branch of the tallest tree and shoot the breeze for hours on end. They did this for years, until they were too old to climb any more, and then they stayed by the pond. To be fair, neither toad was the most hideous creature in existence. Both were amazingly average. Sometimes they forgot how average they were, and got sad once again, but the other toad was always there to keep them in check. I suppose that this relationship made the two toads very special. So, even though they were sometimes sad, the two toads lived happily ever after.